Broncos country, it's not only game day, it's like game time. Okay, Broncos versus Bills, Monday Night Football. My name's Kevin. You are watching Bourbon Broncos No BS Tailgate Talk Show, 1 hour before kickoff. Lots of stuff to talk about, but more importantly, I want to hear from you all. What are your thoughts on the game? We're going to get to some score predictions at the end of the show. And of course, you know that if you guess correctly and the Broncos win, you're going to get some awesome prizes from us here at Bourbon Broncos No BS. So hit that share button, hit that like button. Let's get the show started, guys. Broncos Bills coming up here in about 1 hour. Go Broncos.
Orange Weekly, fans, brews, and Broncos news.
How's it going, Broncos country? Again, my name's Kev from Bourbon Broncos No BS, and I am really glad that you all are here as we're getting ready for the Broncos versus Bills on Monday Night Football. Guys, lots to talk about. We'll have the inactives list pulled up. We'll talk about the injuries for the Bills. Broncos are looking really healthy. I mean, they're coming off their bye week, which obviously is a good thing. But they're healthy in that regard, but just they're healthy across the board. So I don't know, guys. It's going to look very interesting. So want to hear what you all have to say. Good evening, Facebook user. Not sure what your name is. Sorry, Facebook does this sometimes. So make sure you go over to our YT platform. I have to say YT because if I said the real word, they're going to Facebook's going to be like, oh, we're not going to push your video out. But let's see. Completely right. If we play like we did last game, we'll win. I think we need to play even better than that, in the Chiefs game this week, just because, I think the Bills have a lot to prove as well. They've lost 3 of their last 5 games, and that's something that's driving them as well. I'll pull up the inactives list here for you in just a second, but I'm trying to drive at the same time. Let's see. Inactives, big one for the Bills looks to be. Oh, I just lost it. Oh, I'll get back. Micah Hyde for the Bills is out tonight. That is, huge time loss impact for their defense there, and should really, really help our chances to get something passed over the field. Some deep passes down the field. That's always going to help a ton. And we'll talk more about what we need from the offense. But I think first off, the offense can go out there and put up 24 points. Our chances of winning should be very strong because our defense is just doing really well. They've simplified things. Vance Joseph has taken a step back and simplified things. And so through that, I think that the defense is really coming together. They're really watching out for each other. They're talking to each other. Communication has improved dramatically, right? So those are all things that we're definitely looking for when it comes to the defense and how they're improving. And it makes me feel that this defense it's not just a temporary thing, right? They're growing in ways that is consistent each and every week. The offense is the question. The offense, we don't know where they're going to go. They did improve. We did okay against Green Bay. The defense really stood up, stopped the Packers at the end of the game. Whatever that throw Jordan Love had, was worth. But we made that defensive stop to end the game. The defense is looking good. The offense, though, is the one that still is working on coming together. And that's where we're going to be really, I think, for me personally, I'm going to be watching for a lot tonight. Let's see, really quickly, I want to give a shout out to my main man, David, and pull up a quick video he sent us over here, guys. We do this for the fans. So if, at any point you have a video you want to send in terms of go Broncos or anything like that, man, by all means, send it in to us and we'll get it up there for you. Oh, I messed up already. This is what happens, guys. This is what happens. Here we go. Share tab or screen instead. There we go. Boom. David, take it away, man.
Now.
Denver Broncos, #1.
There we go. David, glad you sent that in, man. Seriously, thanks for doing that. Go Broncos indeed. You know, you can tell, die-hard fan, tons of stuff on the background and on his wall, more than I think I have in my entire house. So, you know, David, thanks for being such a huge die-hard Broncos fan. For the rest of you out there, send in your videos if you want us to, showcase them on these shows or anything like that. Again, we do this all for you guys. So, you know, Anthony right there, let's go Broncos indeed. Okay. Let's see. As for the Broncos inactives, the only big one to watch out for, I wouldn't say watch out for, interesting move, is that Nate Atkins is going to be sitting for the new tight end, Lucas Kroll. So, you know, we'll see what that looks like in terms of any game plan that Sean Payton has or anything like that. So, big, interesting news there, at least from the Broncos. And that's the biggest injury or, inactives news for the Broncos. You're a team that is struggling this year. You've won a couple games, one against the Chiefs. That's a big time win, right? And you're really trying to forget about that Miami game and put that behind you and make people stop talking about it. This is a prime opportunity. If they win tonight, the only conversation around that Miami game is going to be, wow, how did this team lose to Miami by the score that they lost? Is this really the same team? This team is looking better. They're improving. They're on a track. I think people are going to be saying great things about the Broncos, right? And the Broncos know that. It's prime time. Everyone's going to be watching the game to begin with. And so really taking advantage of that situation is going to be key for them to go out there. And this is where I'm really happy that we have, the coach that we do in Sean Payton, right? He knows how to keep a team motivated. He knows how to keep a team motivated coming out of a bye week, especially a team that maybe had been struggling a little bit. Or whether the case is even a team that's doing well, trying to keep them motivated and focused through the bye week. This is where Sean Payton, I think, in his leadership is really going to come into play, because one of the big things, and, I'll make the same analogy that I made during the last Tuesday's show, is you look at what happens during NHL playoffs, right? One team wins 4-0 in a round, and now they have to sit and wait for the other series. And let's say the other series goes to 7 games. That first team would be sitting and waiting for a week and a half before they play again. And so the conversation is, well, they did really well. They swept that team, but are they going to lose that momentum while they sit and wait for their next opponent, right? Here we are at the bye week, and I think similar situation, and the Broncos absolutely motivated, absolutely more motivated than I've seen them in 7 years after beating the Chiefs. The question is that motivation only going to continue out of the bye week, but is going to continue into New York, okay, against a team that is also hungry for a win. They got stomped by Cincinnati a couple weeks ago or last week. Either case, they're injured, they're beat up. They're not in the playoff picture right now. And this is a team that if we had played them last year, they would have absolutely stomped us. Okay. Even this current team playing last year's Broncos would have absolutely stomped us. Right. But the Broncos are on the up and up. They have a lot to play for here. This is belief time for the Broncos. It's great to talk about it and say things are looking great. We've won. We beat the Chiefs. We won 2 in a row. Whoop-de-doo. And we're going to go out there and we're going to play awesome against the Bills. Okay. Well, you got to prove it. And a lot of that, I think, stems and starts from coaching, right? Hey, what's up? Hey, everyone, if you want your name to be shown on my screen below, make sure you go check us out on the YT platform. That way your name definitely pops up. But glad you are here. Jerry with the score prediction. Let's see, 27-24 Broncos for the win. Okay. Let's see. Shane, how you doing? Glad you're here. Anthony, I said hi to you earlier. Cindy, let's get this win for sure. I love it. Keep the comments rolling in, guys. I want to hear, what are some of your concerns for this game? Are you believing in the team already, or are you still waiting to see what happens tonight before you make a decision? Because I'll tell you what, for me personally, I'm maybe on the positive side on the fence just a little bit, right? I think if you beat a team like the Chiefs, I don't care if Patrick Mahomes was sick. It's still the Chiefs. It's still Andy Reid's play calling, right? This is the Super Bowl champion team. If they lose to a horrendous team, like they made the Broncos out to be, which, don't get me wrong, we weren't playing well at all for the first quarter of the season. We lost to Miami the way we did. I'm going to keep bringing that up just for Jared, because Jared loves talking about the Miami game. They're the Super Bowl champions. They should be able to overcome a little quirky thing. So what I'm getting at here is I think the Broncos are, in fact, becoming a much, much better team than I think a lot of people are giving them credit for. That's why I'm really thinking they go in tonight and not only win, but handle the game in a very well-executed manner is what I guess I'm trying to get at. So, Cindy, you're a believer too. I love it. You're a believer. This is the thing, guys. This is the most amped up that I have seen this, any Broncos team in the last 7 years. And maybe it's because I was at the stadium when we beat the Chiefs. Humble brag there. But the energy I felt, not just, the last 5 minutes of the game when it was for certain we were going to finally beat the Chiefs. The energy I felt from that moment all the way till I got to my car. Even hearing people calling in on the radio and to give their inputs on the game and everything, there was real energy that it wasn't just, we won a game. It was, this team could be something special. The pieces are there, guys. The pieces are there. Okay, let's talk about, I mentioned earlier, Micah Hyde being out for the Bills. Interesting thing to watch here, because one of the things that is really driven our success offensively, and I guess throughout the entire game, the last couple games, is how effectively we've moved the ball in a very precise manner. We're getting 4 or 5 yards of carry on the run. We're sticking to the run game. We're eating up a ton of clock. And then we're throwing the ball when we need to, right? And it's usually just short yardage. All we need to get the first down. Nothing too crazy. Maybe 15, 20 yards here or there. Some big throws down the field. But for the most part, it's just being very, very precise with how we're moving the ball. I wonder if we're going to take some chances tonight. One of the names, Marvin Mims, keeps coming up in conversation. Just not amongst us here at the show, but anywhere I see online, talking to other fans, people are asking, where's Marvin Mims? We see him in the return game, and he is looking really good, really, really good in the return game. He's made some mistakes earlier on in the season, but he's a rookie. The thing is, he's been improving and moving on and learning from those mistakes. And he's getting at least one good return a game. I mean, like really good return a game. Once he gets that ball and he's moving, man, it is hard to catch him. I think David said it best. I think it was either David or Spotty. Both are Davids, but either one. Was talking about how, Marvin Mims is a little smaller, but he plays like a bigger guy. It takes a lot to bring him down, right? You're not going to just look at him and watch him fall, just like some smaller receivers might be. And we've seen some of those smaller receivers in the past on the Broncos, where they're very quick, very fast, but they seem to not be able to take any kind of contact before they're on the ground. Marvin Mims has not been doing that at all. Marvin Mims was doing a very good job with, not only being speedy, but taking those hits and keep moving forward even after contact. So, hey, Shane, perfect. Yep. I'm glad I beat you to it. So, we've been asking, like, why have we not seen him more involved out on the field? It seems, he's been getting a couple more, chances out on the field, but the ball is not being thrown his way. And so tonight, with the secondary really hurting on the Bills defense, this is a prime opportunity for Marvin Mims to be showcased. Go out there and give him chances downfield deep, right? Keep the Bills defense worried about our deep passing game to allow our running game, which is already doing very well, keep that chugging along. Okay. I get that we want to be meticulous in running the clock down, controlling the ball as much as possible, wearing the other defense out. I do not want to give that up on that at all. Right. I'm not saying go out there on an every drive, first and 10, we get the ball, deep shot down the field. That's not what I'm saying. Right. But take a few. If you take one a quarter, if you take 3 during the entire game, yeah, that's going to open up our run game a lot. You're going to see not just 4 or 5 yards a carry. I think you're going to see 6, 7, 8 plus yards a carry consistently. I have a lot of faith in our running backs. I have a lot of faith in them. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you guys. Speak up. Have you shared the video yet? Should do that too. Also, guys, don't forget we're gonna be live at halftime for the halftime hash, primetime edition to that, and then sounds like at least to me, maybe Jared as well. Hopefully, we'll be here on the after show. We're gonna do a special edition of Orange Weekly Backstage to kind of give our quick reactions to the game, but also just kind of sharing whatever shenanigans we want to talk about as we normally do on the Backstage show. Jose, how you doing? Glad you're here. Man, that is a phrase I haven't heard in a while. I tell you what, if knock on wood, if the Broncos win and this becomes a thing where the Broncos are doing really well, are we going to bring that phrase back, or is that phrase dead? I think there's going to be some resistance to bring that phrase back. I have nothing against it. Jared, our very own Jared, has a shirt that says "Let's Ride." He wears it every day. Every day. It's true. True story. 10% truth. Let's see. Yeah, Judy and Cortland, I think there's a lot of opportunity for both of them, between Mims. Let Mims get out there and have him be a threat. Throw him the ball early, right? Make the Bills pay attention to him early. That's going to free up Cortland Sutton and Jerry Judy. Whether they, Jerry Judy wants to go deep, have him in the slot. Cortland Sutton, you saw the kind of catches he made in the Chiefs game. That's what Cortland is all about. He's a taller guy. He's the receiver that we trust to go make those 50-50 catches. Right? Go for that 50-50 ball. So I want to, I expect us to try him a couple times. But Judy, man, this is a great opportunity for him. I think if we utilize these wide receivers well throughout the game, man, it's just going to be easy for our, I don't want to say easy. It's going to be easier for our running backs to get some things done. And I'm not just talking about the running game in particular. I mean, look at, how they're involved in the passing game themselves. And Samaje Perine, you don't see him out there super often, but when he goes out there, he makes good things happen. He does. So, hey, what's up? How you doing? Let's go Broncos. Love it. Keith, how you doing? I like to see him start like they did at the Commanders game. Hey, Keith, that's a great point. However, I don't want to see them finish like they did the Commanders game. Let's see them play this game like they did in the first half of the Commanders game the entire time tonight. That would be sick. That would be sick. This team, I'm telling you, I said it before the Chiefs game, guys. This team, when they play a full game, is capable of beating most teams in this league. They're to beat the Chiefs. You look at who we lost to at the beginning of the season, the Commanders, and then the Raiders before that. Lost by 1 point against the Raiders and 2 points against the Commanders. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda, what ifs. I get it, but, those were close games. And if we had played a complete game, if we had even played 3/4 of a game for those two games, we would have won. So it's not like we went out there and we just totally flopped the entire game. Miami, you know? And so we saw it against the Chiefs. I said, this team needs to go out there and play a full game. We got about 3/4 of the game that they played really well against the Chiefs, and they walked away with a win. That defense shut Mahomes down. I don't care if the little crybaby had a freaking runny nose. Okay? I know that Travis Kelce was missing Taylor Swift and all that. Get Taylor Swift out of football. Anyway, seriously. And so I get where a lot of people are coming from in terms of still being cautious or not really believing that this is for real. Like maybe we just had a couple fluke games. You know, we didn't handily beat Green Bay, and Green Bay is not a good team, you know, but we did really well against the Chiefs. So was that a fluke? That's what people are saying. I get where they're coming from, but I'm believing because I know what this team can do when they put a full game together. And how you doing? Looking to pass on our forward. Oh, and don't do that here. Come on. If you're going to. Nah. I guess if you need tickets, talk to Ann. Let's talk about some Broncos football tonight. Tonight, guys. We are getting close to me starting to wrap up. Again, don't forget we're going to be live during halftime. We'll be live after the show. But let's talk about the Broncos defense. I haven't talked about them yet. Stephon Diggs looked like he was limited practice earlier in the week, full participant, and not on the inactives list today, obviously. He's probably the main threat on the Bills offense. And so now how do we game plan for that? With the zone coverage, I don't know. But we also do have to keep in mind that Josh Allen is a player that likes to extend plays so that he can run and get the yardage himself. So he hasn't been doing much of that lately, guessing due to an injury. But it's something we still need to be very, very, very cognizant of. So if we are able to contain Josh Allen, you know, make it where if he goes for a run or two and we just meet him at the line of scrimmage, you know, I'm not saying go hit him and hurt him on purpose. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, look, it's part of the game, you know, get in his head early. Get the pressure on him. Our pass rush has got to be ready to go tonight. And Nick Bonito and Bradley Cooper. Yeah. Jonathan Cooper. They just need to be ready to go. They need to be in his face. I want to read this from you guys. From Yahoo Sports. Interesting take. This says the Buffalo Bills may be walking into a trap Monday night. They've looked a little off all season and have lost 3 of their last 5 games, including a frustrating loss to the Cincinnati Bengals last week. They desperately need a get-right game before their season spins out of control. Is playing the Denver Broncos what they need? If they were facing the 2022 Broncos, there'd be no question the Bills would take their lunch money and leave them with an atomic wedgie. But they're facing the 2023 Broncos, and they've got a little more fight. Damn right we do. Broncos are coming off a massive earth-shaking win in Week 9, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs, stunning the defending Super Bowl champions and holding them just 9 points, while quarterback Russell Wilson and friends scored 24. Doesn't necessarily mean that the Broncos will stun a contending team for the second week in a row, but beating them may not be as easy as it was 365 days ago. Are the Bills walking into a trap? Is this a trap game, if you will? Bills are favored. I mean, they're the home team, but they are favored to win tonight. There's just too many question marks. I get it. But at the end of the day, I think even though both teams are looking for a win desperately, I think the Broncos have more to fight for. This is a huge – if the Bills drop a game tonight, they're not totally out of the playoff picture. They're still in the hunt. They can get right. They can win 4 or 5 in a row and get a wild card slot, right? Broncos can't do that. We cannot drop to 3 and 6. Then you're talking about you have to win out the rest of the season, basically. Maybe lose one more game the rest of the season. Can't do that. Bills dropped this one. It's not the end of the world. So the Broncos know that they got an advantage on the health front. They got an advantage on the bye week front. They cannot go out there and do nothing in the first quarter. We've looked really good all year going out there and putting together a first score, a scoring drive on our first offensive drive, just about every single week. So, are they going to be able to do that coming off the bye week? If the offense starts slow, it might be a long night for the Broncos. Because this team, the identity and the philosophy behind the team is to allow the other offense on the team, on the field, as little as possible. And once you start allowing the other team to get in a groove, it throws you off. It really throws you off. So you cannot allow them to do that. So keys to the game. What are your keys to the game? Let me hear them. Also, score predictions. Again, if your score prediction is right and if the Broncos win, you can't guess on the Bills to win. You have to guess on the Broncos to win in order to be eligible for the prizes that we would give you if you get the score prediction correct. Help us out and, tell us that you got the score prediction right. Send us a screenshot or we'll look up your comment here or something. But yeah, tell us your score prediction now before the end of the show to lock it in. And again, if you're right, we will make sure we send you some awesome stuff. We've done it once in our 7 years of doing this. I'd love to do it again. Let's see. My keys to the game tonight. It goes back to, let me just start with what I just said. We've got to go out there and put points on the board on our first drive. Have to, even if it's just field goal. We cannot go out there and punt the ball away at any point during our first opening drive. We've got to go out there and take control offensively. Defense just needs to play smart. Okay. That's the big thing. That's key number 2. Let me rephrase that when I say smart, because that's a very broad. They need to continue the communication that they've been doing. Communication is key. Number 2. Making sure that somebody is aware of, that they're aware of where Stephon Diggs is, that they're keeping track of Josh Allen. So they're not letting him get 6, 7, 8 yards on a scramble over and over again. Right? We've got to shut that down early too. Make sure that Josh Allen feels the pressure early. Shut him down, communicate well, and do the things that the defense has been doing the last 2 or 3 games that's really allowed them to succeed, right? So coming out of the bye week, we're hoping to see that is been emphasized to the nth degree and is really ingrained in them by now. So key number 3, turnover battle. Turnover battle. I think if we're even +1 on the turnover battle, we win the game. I think that's key. That is absolutely crucial. I think if we are negative on the turnover battle, I think we're going to lose. We have to find a way to either keep it neutral or get more turnovers than they get. So hopefully there's not a lot of that tonight, unless it's like the Chiefs game in which they keep giving us the ball. That's another thing. We're probably not going to get 5 turnovers tonight, right? We did in the Chiefs game. So how do we go out there and perform when we don't get the ball turned over to us 3, 4, 5 times in a game? I don't know. It'll be fun. Hey guys, make sure you check us out here at halftime as well. I didn't see any other score predictions come in. So we do have Jerry's 27-24 for the Broncos win. And I got Shane's 24-20 Broncos for the win as well. Those are the 2 score predictions I see. But hey, let's have some fun tonight, guys. Let's see this team go out there on Monday Night Football. And I'm not looking for a dominating performance. I'm just looking for a performance that shows that this team is becoming competent for the first time in 8 years, where we can say, okay, this is finally going the right direction. We're seeing it pay off, and start the second half of the season really strong, right? Okay, guys, Broncos and Bills coming up in 30 minutes. So go grab your drinks, do whatever you want to do, take a break, but get ready for the game, guys. Get hyped for it. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So with that being said, guys, we're going to end it here as we always do. The very strong. Go Broncos. See you at halftime, everyone.
Do what I like, yeah, do what I like, yeah, do what I like. Sip and go, sip is right, and I go with the flow.